I've just seen some preliminary designs of the new Volkswagen Passat, the electric version. You know what? It looks amazing. And I love these kinds of cars. Wagons are the kind of cars that make sense. An electric wagon that looks like this, Volkswagen have been annoying me with some of the things they've done lately, but I'd have to consider this. It's just cool. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. My name's Sam Evans. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the channel this year. Thanks for subscribing. It's great to have you here. And welcome to all those new subscribers. If you're new to the channel, we've done, I've lost count. We've done around 3,000 videos over the past just over a year and a half since we started this channel. And we'll be at fully charged. Well, I'll be at fully charged live this year in London. I'd love to see you there. Well, actually, it won't be in London, but in the UK in April. And then, of course, in the United States in October later in the year. Really looking forward to it. That's going to be an amazing experience. Would love to meet as many of you as possible. So come up and say hi. Volkswagen have just fired their chief designer. They say that their electric cars look insipid, uninspiring. Hang on a minute. I said that. They didn't say that. But they did fire their designer. Their head designer, and they fired their previous head designer not long before him. Seems like Volkswagen isn't happy with their designs. But the thing is, the new guy they hired as their chief designer, he's the same guy who designed the Bentley Bentayga, and that thing is horrendous. I've got no idea what they were thinking. Anyhow, they also have fired Herbert Diess, an equally bizarre decision. This new electric wagon, if it looks like this, what these designs are saying it will, well, you know what? Maybe they shouldn't have fired the guy, because if he designed this, and I believe he did, then it looks fantastic. The MQB-based 9th generation of the Volkswagen Passat is coming with a heavily electrified powertrain mix and lots of space inside the cabin. I think it's going to be a winner. The Volkswagen Passat was discontinued from North America last year because Americans don't like wagons. They only want SUVs. Unfortunately, Australians are exactly the same. Don't worry, Americans, you're not the only ones. But European buyers will be blessed with an all-new generation of this popular electric, popular vehicle, set to debut before the end of 2023, meaning this year. Yeah, I can't believe it's 2023, crazy. Following numerous appearances of the model that will be exclusively offered in wagon form with electrified powertrains, Carscoops actually created this rendering, combining it with all the information we have about its technical specifications. So yeah, actually, I was wrong. The guy, the head designer, didn't design this. Carscoops did. Carscoops, great job. Maybe they should hire you guys to design their EVs rather than whoever designed the ugly ass Bentley Bentayga. That thing looks terrible. Don't get me wrong, I love Bentley cars, but I wouldn't buy the Bentayga because it's too ugly. Do you agree with me? What do you think? Now, Carscoop says that SUVs have pretty much conquered the D segment in Europe, forcing most automakers to discontinue their medium-sized sedans. However, Volkswagen thinks there is still space for a new Passat in the old continent before it becomes an EV-only brand. And to be fair, this whole EV-only brand thing, it's just a myth, because Volkswagen, pretty much, I don't know if they've ever even said that. I mean, yeah, they have, but it's a long way away. I mean, Volkswagen is saying in 2030, 50% of the cars they sell will be gasoline powered. Remember, this is the same company that has $180 billion of debt. Yeah, that's a bit concerning, if you ask me. The Volkswagen Group, though, will lower its R&D costs by jointly developing the next generations of the Volkswagen Passat and the Skoda Superb, and firing any designers working at the company, hiring Carscoops journalists to do the job. Actually, that would save them a lot of money if they did that. Anyhow, the former will only come in the more practical variant body style, the wagon, unlike the latter, which will retain its sedan and combi flavors. So that means the Skoda vehicle, the Skoda version of this car, will actually come in a sedan as well. Volkswagen officials are probably thinking the upcoming fully electric ID.4 sedan will fulfill the role of the discontinued four-door Passat in the automaker's future lineup. And while realistically, I think Volkswagen are right, I wouldn't have designed the ID.4 at all personally. Sedans are so unpopular in terms of global vehicle sales. They're declining significantly every year. You can see why they're so impractical. Ever tried, hey, just buy a single chair, a single dining table chair. In fact, buy 2 dining table chairs and try and put them into your sedan. See if you can fit them in. It's so impractical. I tried that once. I had a sedan. I saw 2 dining chairs on the side of the road. They looked good, right? I tried to fit them in the car. I couldn't get them in. It was ridiculous. Then I decided this is a dumb car, and I went and bought a different car. Bought a wagon, by the way. A Mitsubishi Magna wagon. That thing lasted really well. The Passat has been around since 1973, so its 9th generation is a big deal for Volkswagen. Volkswagen is known for not taking risks when it comes to styling, but this won't be a problem for the rather conservative target audience of the Passat, says Carscoops. And that's true. Volkswagen's cars, to be honest, to be fair, they're usually pretty boring. I think they usually work quite well in terms of being boring, but they're not ugly. They look fine, usually. And this latest generation though, and Volkswagen's EVs, yeah, I've got to say, I kind of understand why they aren't too happy about them as a company. They think they can be improved. And that's true. That said though, the Passat, the existing model, I quite like the look of that. What do you think? Let me know. I would certainly consider an electric version styled like that. The new model made its spy debut last year, with the recent production body prototypes wearing very little camo. This made it easier for Carscoops associates to create an accurate rendering of the new Volkswagen Passat variant, as most of the design is already known. So actually, Volkswagen Group did sort of design this car in conjunction with Carscoops. What a great partnership that is. The profile was already uncovered in the prototypes, combining a straight character line and greenhouse that is typical for Volkswagen estates, with a more aerodynamic shape and slightly more pronounced rear shoulders. Those pronounced rear shoulders do look good. The wheelbase is expected to be longer than the current generation, resulting in a much spacious cabin and better looking portions. This is one of the great things about EVs, right? Longer wheelbases, and you don't have to have a longer bonnet. There's so much more to play with in terms of making the car more practical and making it look better as well. The actual interior of the Volkswagen Passat, the electric version, has already been shown. And the centerpiece is a freestanding touchscreen measuring 15 inches, very similar to actually the same size screen as what you see in a Tesla Model 3 and a Model Y. The lower part has sliders for the climate control and volume, which will most likely be illuminated. The digital instrument cluster is much larger than the EV counterparts, and it's expected to feature revised graphics compared to the 12.3-inch unit widely used in the current internal combustion engine powered range. Now, Carscoops claims that the new Passat electric will have ADAS level 3 system, meaning basically autonomous driving. There's zero chance of that. I mean, you got to be paying attention, Carscoops. Come on, guys. Remember what happened? They dissolved their autonomous division. Wasn't producing. Remember when Ford just wrote that off? Volkswagen wrote it off. Pretty much finished. In terms of ADAS at Volkswagen, they've got a lot of work to do. They just need to get their touchscreens to work, let alone ADAS systems at level 3. The statistical chances that they have a functional ADAS system coming out in this vehicle are about 0%. They are 0%. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure the safety systems will be decent, but ADAS level 3, that ain't happening. However, the new Passat will ride on the latest evolution of the widely used MQB architecture. As one of the last models with a combustion engine under the bonnet, it would make sense for the automaker to develop a new architecture just for this model. Now, obviously, they're not going to sell anywhere near enough to develop a new architecture for this vehicle. In fact, the Volkswagen Group actually put on hold their new Trinity project, which was meant to be their better version of the MEB platform. It was going to be their new advanced EV generation platform, cheaper to produce, lighter, more efficient. They put that on hold. They just want to improve the MEB first. I'm not sure if that's a good call or not. Maybe it is. I'm sure they've thought about this really hard. Sort of, maybe. What do you think? Have they? Now, unfortunately, I think this vehicle will actually be a bit compromised. The reason I say this is they're actually making this a gasoline version as well. They've got a plug-in hybrid. They've got a couple of different gasoline-powered versions. I mean, will there be a transmission tunnel? Probably not. But will it be a bit compromised because it's a hybrid platform? Yeah, absolutely, of course. So when is the new Passat electric coming out? Well, the 2023 Passat variant will debut over the next few months at some point. So pretty soon. It's coming alongside the mechanically related Skoda Superb. Both models will be produced in Slovakia, which will now enable Volkswagen to make them at a cheaper cost. Following the discontinuation of the Ford Mondeo and the Opel Insignia, rivals of the Volkswagen Passat in the D segment include Peugeot 508, which is also getting a facelift, and the entry-level trim levels of the premium players like the Audi A4, BMW 3 Series, and the Mercedes C-Class. Honestly, guys, if you're in the market for the BMW 3 Series, Mercedes C-Class, or the Audi A4, if you're considering those, even the electric version of the Passat, in my view, would be a much better car. Wait, don't buy one of those gasoline-powered beasts. Buy one of these. It'll be a much nicer car, way better to own. And the residual values over the next few years will definitely be much, much better. We're going to see a huge disruption over the next few years. You know, the old gasoline-powered clunkers, they're going to be worth about as much as a Nokia phone. No, I'm exaggerating, but you get my point, right? Right, yeah. How much was your Nokia 3310 worth a couple of years after iPhones, smartphones, you know, these kinds of phones came out? Not a lot. No one wanted them. Same thing will happen to gas-powered vehicles. Don't buy a luxury gas-powered vehicle. Otherwise, you're simply going to be flushing money down the toilet. Let me know your thoughts, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.